We're talking Championship, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking at the top of the league, the bottom of the league, and the managerial merry-go-round that is present in every league, but especially in the Championship. Now, let's start with the craziest relegation dogfight that's ever been. Damn it all. Bristol City, they look odds on to go down. Sorry, City fans, but you can't argue with it. The league table doesn't lie, as they say. But there's a lot of teams in the mix. Derby are a very interesting one. They're 7 points off the playoffs and 7 points off relegation.
Unbelievable.
Derby County, as it stands, could get promoted to the Premier League or they could get relegated to League One.
Well,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like from 11 down. So that's like half the league.
Yeah.
Are in danger of going.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, but it's so exciting. Obviously, you don't want to be involved as a player in that kind of scenario. You want to be out of that problem. But like the fact is that it's just I've never known any league where that many teams are in danger of going down.
The Championship is often the most exciting league, but
maybe it's because it's so close to the Premiership. The promised land is just around the corner, Marcus.
But well, okay. Along with we're going to say Bristol City.
Yeah.
Who do you fancy for the drop?
Well, you know something. I look at something like Huddersfield.
Yes.
They don't seem to be able to score goals. Obviously,
They are struggling.
They're struggling, and I just feel like Blackburn are in free fall. I know they've got
Blackburn
some good players, and they just seem in free from the boardroom, the managerial stuff. And, then the players, at some stage, that's got to affect the players somewhere along the line. And I just don't look at them players and that team and look at them with as good as their players are. I can't see them loving the club enough,
well, if we name some
the
of the
manager
players
enough to, or whatever. They got another interim manager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could see
some
them
of the
getting
players,
sucked into it.
Some of the players they have, Jordan Rhodes, who scored goals at that level, David Bentley, Morton Gamps Pedersen, Leon Best, Danny Murphy, David Dunn. A lot of them are Premier League players.
It doesn't make any difference. Otherwise, they wouldn't be where they are. It doesn't matter what players you got there. Those players are obviously not playing for that club in a way of trying to get them out of the trouble that they're in. They're not playing with like do or die stuff.
Well, it's been a disaster since Venky's took over, really.
It has been.
And we agree, Blackburn, do we think they're going to go down?
I'm not sure they'll go down. I just feel that they're in free fall and they can go down. And it's one of those where you have to try and arrest that because if you don't, then they'll go and then they'll go again. And I remember when Blackburn, when they first came to Venky's, they were talking about Ronaldinho and all that. And I think that was the
and they were also talking about Beyonce doing a concert.
Talking all sorts of rubbish. And at the end of the day, it just goes to show like owners have come in and done what they wanted to do, and without knowing too much about football, maybe the people that they've brought in to try and help them through in respects of advising them, maybe they're in it for their own gains in respects of monies what they're taking out of the club. Because for me, no progression has been made at that club since the Venky's have been there, since Sam Allardyce
quite the opposite,
gone.
really.
Absolutely, it's gone. It's totally gone the other way, and it just goes again to show that when you get people who come in for whatever reason they've come in, the Venky's, I don't know if it was to build their brand in India, whatever it is, or it's not worked. It's not worked. It's not been good for Blackburn Football Club. Something needs to be done about that.
So Ronaldinho made the right decision for not going there. But what about a couple of the other teams down there? Wolves under Saunders, they're pulling away. They've won a few games at the right time.
He started pretty badly.
He did start badly, but they're perhaps hitting a bit of form at the right time. Peterborough, they're an interesting one. They haven't lost in 7. They beat Cardiff only a few weeks ago. They're still in the relegation zone, trying to pull away. I worry about the Posh. I think it might be a little too late for them.
You think?
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned. I mean, Ferguson, he didn't start the season too well, of course. They're down there. I think it could be...
It's a really strange team, Peterborough. They never quite got enough money to do anything. You know what I mean? They seem to get decent players who can score, then they move on or whatever's happening.
Well, it's an interesting system they got with Barry Fry. He takes control of a lot of the players' dealings and leave Ferguson to do the team. But I think Ferguson would probably like to do what his father has done at Manchester United all those years, be in control of everything. But I don't know, Peterborough and Blackburn, I think. I'm sorry about that, fans of Peterborough and Blackburn, but
what are you apologising for?
Well, because it's not nice to hear your team's going to get relegated, is it?
Yeah, but look where they are.
Well,
I don't need to apologise for that.
Who do you think is going to go down then?
I'm going to go with Huddersfield, like I say, because Matt, our man, he supports them and I want to see him unhappy. And I feel that Blackburn could get sucked into it.
Okay.
And it's only an opinion, but I'm not going to apologise.
Well, if you want to reply to that, Blackburn fans or Huddersfield fans, then comment below or tweet us at @ball_street.
Okay, we're talking chokers, and are they going to choke? Who's going to choke? Cardiff going to choke? Watford going to choke? Who do you think is going to choke?
I don't think Cardiff are. I think this is going to be...
I don't think Watford are neither.
Do you not think so? Cardiff have done this a few times before. They get so close to the Premier League.
Have they been this close?
They have been, I think, before. They've certainly...
I mean, no, I don't mean in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
I mean in the league.
Well, yeah, they have been in the automatic spots and then dropped off before. And then Swansea nipped in, and of course they go up. So,
but this is why I'm saying, Marcus. Sorry to butt you there, because just while it's there, I've got to get in. The fact is, I think that they're so up there, and they've been up there for such a long time.
That's right.
And with Malky and everything, what he's doing with them, I just feel that they will see it off. I think Fraser Campbell's been a brilliant signing for him at the right time. That's a signing at the right time. He scored goals, important goals as well. And I just feel that they're not going to choke.
No, I agree with you.
They lost against Peterborough, and you think to yourself,
you were worried.
Oh, hang on a minute, they're starting to choke.
I think they've got a nice gap at the top. I think they're going to do it. I think we're going to see 2 Welsh teams in the Premier League at last. Some might say. Yeah. Certainly people.
See, we can have 2 Welsh teams. Why can't we have 2 Scottish teams? Celtic Rangers.
Different debate.
Different debate.
Different debate.
Threw it in.
But at the top, obviously Watford and Hull, they're in there. I think Hull have done very well of late under Bruce.
Yeah, I feel Watford will.
I think Hull just might hold on to that second place, get back in the Premier League. Now, talking of chokers, 2 teams that certainly fit the bill there are Leicester City and Middlesbrough.
Both of them.
Just doing that. Just in case you're not sure what choking is.
Thank you very much, Marcus.
Leicester are 2 points off the playoffs. And they had a terrible one. They won 1 in 11 games, 3 defeats in a row. I mean, it looked quite good for them the other year when they had a lot of money. The balding smoothie that is Sven-Goran Eriksson was in charge.
Yes.
Love a little mensch for Sven. They had a few players come in. David Nugent, he scored a few goals for them, but it doesn't seem to be quite happening.
Something doesn't seem to be happening for Leicester. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's a strange one. Leicester City fans, get in touch with us. Tell us what it is.
Why have you lot fallen off?
Kasper Schmeichel apparently is their best player at the moment. He's the goalkeeper, of course. So that tells its own story, doesn't it?
Well, to be honest, when you've got a goalkeeper, it's one of those, as a striker, when they come in and they say that the goalkeeper's been man of the match, you're quite happy with that. Yeah. Because he's had to play his best to stop you. So I'm quite pleased about that. But yeah, when you're hearing that the goalkeeper's the man of the match, you know that the rest of the players need to start picking up a bit, because if he starts to fall off or wane, then they're going to start conceding goals.
What about Middlesbrough? Now, they've definitely choked. At the start of the season, the first half of the season, they look as though that they might even finish in the automatic spot. They've lost something like 11 in 14 recently. They've lost 4 out of the last 5. They've had a terrible, terrible run. They don't look as though they're going to make the play. In fact, I don't think they can make the playoffs now, if I'm right in thinking that at the time of recording. I've spoken to a number of Middlesbrough fans. They just can't put their finger on it. They just don't know. Mowbray is a good manager. He had them playing. They got in Amiobi from the Premier League. I think
I thought that was a good...
He scored a good goal. It's a strange one. They can't put their finger on it.
Not sure as well. They've got the manager that they wanted. He's a Borough legend.
That's right.
They love him there, and for some reason they don't. I look at the Borough side, and yes, Amiobi on loan from Newcastle, and Kieran Dyer going up there as well. Yeah, it's fine in respect of the signings, but they just don't excite me in any way. You look at them.
But at the start of the season they were.
Yeah, but at the start of the season, it doesn't matter at the start of the season. That just gives you a little bit of a buffer. So if it starts to go badly for you, then you have a couple of bad runs, and then you kick on again. Yeah. But they seem to start the season well, and when they had the buffer of starting the season well, they just fell off, and they continue to fall off.
That's right.
They just seem to not stop their demise.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Leicester and Middlesbrough fans, get in touch. Tell us what's wrong with your club. Ball_street.
What do you need? What do you need?
What do they need? What do they need? Get Sven back. That's what I would say.
Smacking a god for Sven?
Never.
Sorry. Okay, we're talking young guns in the Championship. Marcus, like I say, all about young guns, Championship. Who's your young guns in the Championship?
Young guns in the Championship, you say? Loads of you have mentioned Tom Ince.
Yes,
that's fair enough. He's had a great season. Yeah. Good things to come from him. Possible Premier League player, we would hope, with a lot of potential there. Maybe even an England player. Who knows?
I think so.
Zaha as well.
Even though he has a lot of mentions, but
he has dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, he's dropped off, and I think that he's getting mentioned for his earlier season form. But Lassie is somebody who I saw a few months back.
You like Johnny Williams as well,
And
don't you?
Johnny Williams as well.
Yeah,
really excited about those Palace players.
He's had a good time. At Bradley BDOT, he reckons that Forest keeper Carl Darlow has had a great season. Which he has. He's done very well. Got
Forest
a great haircut as well. I say great in the loosest possible sense.
Right. Why do you back that up with that?
Because he's tried to comb over one side, then go back the other side. It's jet black. It's pretty original. As they go.
You've really paid a lot of attention to that.
Well, a fair amount. I've done my research, one could argue.
Have you seen pictures of him in the nude or something?
In the nude? What's that got to do with his haircut?
Don't know.
Oh, you wanted to know what he's got?
Don't know.
Best leave that one alone, I reckon.
Out anyway.
Will Hughes got a few mentions. Playing really well for Derby County.
Nathaniel Redmond, I saw him now.
Oh, for Birmingham, yeah.
Now, I like him. He looks like a good winger.
Yeah.
I could see somebody buying him. And I could see him having a little bit of a spell, then he'll burst into the Premiership. Yeah. He's got a lot of ability.
Well, as I said, some of the names we mentioned, a few of them look as though they've got Premier League quality and maybe even England quality. So if you agree, disagree, or you've got other names we haven't mentioned, then comment below or tweet us, ball_street. Nottingham Forest have had 4 managers this season, yet quite incredibly, they look as though they're going to make the playoffs and could go up. They've got Billy Davies, he's back, he's in charge, and he's certainly got them going again.
Well, it's really strange the way that's gone. Like you say, how many managers? They've had 4 managers?
4 this season.
And you'd have thought that they would have destabilised them to an extent, and and you can almost, like players, you can almost take that as like an excuse to, we're not quite settled on another manager, but they seem to have kicked on, and I think that must be the Billy Davies effect. You know what I mean? People saying like McGugan, who I thought saw him a couple of seasons ago for us, and I thought, wow, he's looking like a player. He seemed to have disappeared for a bit. Now he seems to have revitalised himself, and maybe Billy Davies has done that, and he seems to be really playing some real consistent good stuff.
Well, Davies knows the club as well. He's been there before, and he did all right with them before. He got them into the playoffs a few times, and then they got rid of him.
Why did they sack him then?
Well, because obviously
he didn't. The same owners?
Well, he didn't get them into the Premier League, which is a club like Forest have to have Premier League ambitions. A huge club, they've got the stadium to back it up as well, and the history. But it's interesting some of the opinions on Billy Davies at Bradley _B on Twitter has said Billy Davies is the best Forest manager since Brian Clough. He's obviously forgot about Frank Clark, I would immediately say. Frankie Clark.
Was he good, Frank Clark? Frank
Clark got them I think 3rd or 4th position finish in the Premier League. Got them into Europe. He was good for them, but fair enough. And I mean, old King Billy is quite popular with some of the Forest fans, although he's not so popular with some of the fans that he's managed at previous clubs. And he can be a little bit of a hothead. He can fall out with the ball sometimes, which is perhaps why.
Has he got a Di Canio vibe about him? Are we going down that road?
I don't think so. Politically, I don't think so, and I sincerely hope not. But I think he divides opinion. He can divide the dressing room sometimes.
Yeah, but he seems to get teams playing. Well, and I'll tell you one of the main reasons why, especially if you get players saying they don't like a manager, is because he demands the best out of them, and some of them cannot get to that level. Yeah. And so what they'll do is they'll want to use it as an excuse to say, I don't like him, he's, you know what I mean, this and that, because they can't go to the level that he wants them to go to, and so they say it's easier to make it an excuse and dislike him.
Well, perhaps at Forest he sorts the men from the boys out.
Well, at the end of the day, like I say, I didn't get on with like Bruce Rioch.
Yeah.
It's no secret. Same with Graham Taylor, but I could easily play for them because it's not about, they're giving you instruction. You just go out and do it. You don't have to be their best mate.
Yeah. It's about professionalism, isn't it, Ian?
All about professionalism.
And that's all we ask for.
Absolutely.
As football fans. If you've got an opinion on Billy Davies, you're a Forest fan, then let us know. Comment below or tweet us at ball_street.
Okay, Leeds. Got to talk about Leeds managerless. Warnock gone. It was on the cards. He kind of said something at the start of the season, alluding to the fact that he most probably would stop at the end of this season. Right. I personally feel that Leeds now need a young manager that, with the young team and whatever, can take Leeds forward on a long-based contract and really have a proper plan. I think they need to do something like that now.
And get them back into the Premier League.
Get them back into the Premier League. You know what I mean? It's a massive club, massive fan base, and I think they need to get a manager that they genuinely believe in. I think even when he got the job, Warnock, I don't believe that the Leeds fans were 1,000,000% happy about that.
Well, Warnock, he's the type of manager that gets teams out of the Championship, isn't he? And perhaps maybe that's why they got him in. But I think you are right. Leeds is a project. You don't get a manager in for a club like that and then try and get them up there and then all in
They've
Premier
been
League.
out of the Premier League for such a long time.
It's been far too long. It's been far too long. I mean, who would they get in? You know, Gus Poyet's name's been mentioned. He obviously was assistant to Dennis Wise up there. They like him. But why would he leave Brighton?
Because it's Leeds. It's a bigger club. It's a bigger club.
True, but Brighton, he's really built something there at Brighton, you could argue.
How much? Yeah, but when you say he's really built something.
Yeah, well, they are building something. And I mean, he could get Brighton into the Premier League, which would be incredible.
It would be great for him. But like, I feel that if he got certain resources at Leeds, it would be a unbelievable job for him to have. Yeah. And he'd be able to like, once you get Leeds back in the Premiership, with a couple of quid and everything, I think it's the kind of place where you could stay for a while. Yeah. I believe that you look at him at Brighton, and as great as he's doing at Brighton, you know what I mean, he would leave for the right job. He would definitely leave for the right job.
I'm not so sure. I think it would take a job like Chelsea or someone like that to prize him away, because I think...
but I don't think I don't think he's going to go from Brighton straight to Chelsea. I think that if he could go from Brighton, then he went to Leeds and done really well at Leeds, then you can go to Chelsea rather than
true. I see
go
your
straight
point.
from Brighton straight to Chelsea.
I see your point, and I think it's fair. But with Brighton, he could get them up into the Premier League, and that would be a bit of history he would create there.
Yeah, but I think that'd be great for him. But at the same time, it's not like a club that he's going to be saying that yes, at some stage they're going to go forward and go into Europe and do real big ambitions. Yeah. You know, if Brighton got into the Premier League, then you'd have to say that is fantastic for them, depending on what kind of monies they can get to keep them there, like what Stoke have done and teams of such, then fine. But with Leeds, you can see with the right kind of manager, the right kind of backing, they can be a European kind of pressing for European places. And that would be a much better job for him. Yeah.
Well, if you are a Leeds fan and you like Gus Poyet, or you don't like Gus Poyet, you want someone else in, then tweet us at @ball_street or comment below.